Why do so many agencies stay small? I run a marketing agency, and within the first year, we went to $0 a month all the way to $10 to $15,000 a month, which accumulates to 100 to 150, 180,000 dollars a year. And I did that in a span of a year from nobody. I had no content distribution. I did not have anything. I did not have my Instagram page, and I was still able to do all of that. How did I do it? I want to talk about that. And I'm going to divide this video into three sections: founders, lead gen, and hiring. These are the three crucial points of why an agency usually stays small. Let's talk about founders. If you're a founder watching this video, you're about to start an agency, or you're already running one, you must understand that a good founder determines if an agency grows fast or not. Now, keep in mind, whatever I'm about to say can be used for other industries as well. It doesn't just have to be an agency. It also works for product-based companies, service-based companies, AI companies, automation. But I'll be talking about an agency because that is my experience, and I want to niche down this video for agency founders. And yes, being a founder is one of the most important aspect, a skill that you need to hone down to be a good entrepreneur. Now, what do I mean by that? If you're an agency founder, there are two categories. Either you're an experienced founder or an inexperienced founder. When I started my agency, I was an experienced founder, which saved me years and months of failures and all the lessons that people usually learn. And I was able to directly focus on solutions. That is one of the reasons my agency grew faster. Now, if you're an agency founder starting off for the first time, which is the case with most agency founders, because starting an agency is quite easy. So usually a lot of new beginners start off as a founder in an agency. When you do that, you need to accept the fact that you're new and you'll make a lot of mistakes in the process. You're basically learning on the job. When that happens, the first 2 years doesn't go towards making a lot of money. It doesn't go towards scaling. It doesn't go towards building a strong team. It goes towards learning. Just accepting the fact will make you quickly realize that that is the reason your agency is so small. You're not able to grow fast because you don't have the experience to grow it fast. And then there are other agency founders who have the experience, who come from the background of freelancing, who come from the background of working at a company which is similar to your agency. They come from backgrounds that help them scale and start their companies with a lot of efficiency that new beginners are not able to do. So that's problem number one. Now, problem number two is because there is a distinction between experience and inexperience, you need to understand what the difference is. Apart from efficiency, apart from being able to grow it faster, it's communication skills, sales skills, hiring skills, management skills, negotiations, systems, lead gen. There's so much that comes from an experienced founder that a new founder has to learn over the job. Now, let's say that you have spent 2 years running your agency and you've learned all of these things, or you're coming as an experienced founder. What then? Well, now we move on from the tangent of a founder to lead gen. The reason most agencies fail beyond their founders is the fact that they struggle to crack a lead gen method. Now, if you have a strong lead gen system, your pipeline is always warm and cash flows continuously come into your company. When you bring in so much cash flow, it's easier to get good results. It's easier to hire the right talent. It's easier to deal with problems, and it's easier to spend on marketing to grow your company faster. Cash flow is what makes and breaks your company. Lead gen solves for cash flow. Now, how do you build lead gen system? I have spoken about this countless times. People usually don't seem to understand this. There is 4 to 5 methods. Number 1 is content. Number 2 is cold outreach. Number 3 is partnership. Number 4 is paid ads. And number 5 is networking. Yes, there are 5 methods. Now, among these 5 methods, you can choose your own. I started off with content creation. It took me 1 year, I think 1 year, 6 months, maybe 1 year, 2 months. I lost track of time, but it took me a while to crack my content system. Now, these lead gen systems work really well if you're an experienced founder, but if you're an inexperienced founder who doesn't have a lot of time and wants money quick, I would not recommend you to build a system for lead gen. I would recommend you to build a system for lead gen for the long term, but for the short term, be a hustler. My first 1 or 2 clients did not come from my lead gen system. They came from the fact that I had to reach out to every single contact in my network, from my Instagram, from my phone number, from my email, from my Facebook Messenger. Every single DM I had, I put that in an Excel sheet, and I reached out to every single human I knew on this planet, apart from certain people that I knew are like above me in life. I didn't want to reach out to them, but majority of the other people I reached out to, and I sent them all a message saying that, hey, I started a marketing agency. If you need my help, this is what I can do for you. Or if you know someone, I can do that for them as well. From that, I got my first 2 clients, which gave me enough money to survive for the first 6 months, which helped me build my lead gen system. But it took me much more than 6 months to actually build my lead gen system. And how did I build my system? I figured out my unique strength. My unique strength is the ability that I don't need to write scripts. I just need to pick a topic and I can go on camera ranting about it. I'll stumble, I'll fumble, but I don't really care about those things because I know I'm providing a lot of value. I figured out that's my strength. And so among the 5 lead gen systems, I picked the first one, which is content creation. I went all in on content creation. In a span of a year, maybe a few months, I went from 0 to 15,000 followers and then so on to now 40,000 followers. And that built me a distribution channel of a lot of e-commerce founders, which is what my agency does. My agency provides marketing services to e-commerce founders. And that's how I continually generate leads for my company. I make videos, people look at that video, they realize I'm providing a lot of value and they want to work with me. Then they realize I actually provide these services as well. They reach out to me, we get on a sales call. If we're a good fit, we close a deal and I get my money into my bank account. That's through content creation. You can choose any lead gen method, cold outreach, ads, partnership, networking, content. Just figure out what is the best thing for your industry. For example, a marketing agency. When I do cold outreach, it's not the best fit because there are so many marketing agencies in the world. I'm in a very saturated niche. So choosing an outreach method that involves a cold outreach method in the most saturated niche is not the best choice. Content, on the other hand, warms people up and I'm not really salesy there. I'm just providing them genuine value. Providing value to masses through cold outreach is quite hard compared to providing value through content. So figuring out your industry and your personal strength, combining them and choosing one method to outreach to people, that is to generate leads, is the best way to build a lead gen system. Now, another interesting part about lead gen methods is that they stack. So for the first year and a half, I only did ads. I did only content. I didn't do anything but content. But because I have cracked the content game, I have understood what works in content, what doesn't work in content. Now I can stack a layer of advertisement on that. I told you, there are different methods to do outreach, lead generation, content, ads, networking. I realized if I do content really well and whatever content blows up, I can then add a layer of money on top of that and start advertising that same content. And suddenly ads and content work hand in hand together. And this is an interesting system. Same thing also works with cold outreach as well. If you're doing cold outreach really well, then you'll quickly realize if you're able to reach out to new people and convince them to work with you, it also means you're really good at partnership, you're really good at networking. So you can stack these skills together. But don't make this mistake that a lot of inexperienced agency founders make. That is, they start doing all of it together. Don't do that. Start with one thing and go all in, build a system, build a strong fundamental system there. Once you've done a good job there, then add a layer of lead gen over it. Don't start on it right away. That's exactly what I did. I started with content, spent a year and a half on that. Then I started doing ads. And now my ads perform really well. I think my agency ads in the country is among the best. Not because I am a genius, but because I tested it with my organic content for a year and a half before I went into ads. I know what my winning creatives are. I know what my ICP is. I know what their problems are. I figured all of it out through my content lead gen system, and now I've added a new system of ads on top of it, and that is how you do lead gen. It's very simple in words. All you have to do is start, not give up, and stay in it for as long as possible, and don't fall for the symptom of a shiny object syndrome. Like if you like something else, don't go for it. Stick to your system and be committed to it. When I was doing content, it was not performing well for the first 6-7 months. I was very tempted to do cold outreach. I was hearing people making millions of dollars doing cold outreach, and I was like, what am I doing wrong? But instead of giving up and switching to a new system where I have to start from zero all over again, I stuck to content, and now my life has changed because of it. Universities invited me to give lectures, brands trust me. Even if I can choose to scale my agency anytime. I'm only limited to my team, and that's a wonderful position to be in. It's a good problem to have, and that's how you do lead gen. So first you solve for being a good entrepreneur. It is a skill set you have to learn: communication, networking, charisma, influence, sales, negotiation, managing team, building products, providing services. So a lot of skills that an entrepreneur is required to have. Understand this, spend time at this, become good at this. Once you've done that, once you've become a good entrepreneur, then you crack lead gen. Lead gen is another skill you have to build, but you crack lead gen. Once you crack lead gen and you have a lot of leads coming into your agency, the final and the most important thing is building a good team. This took me a while to figure out as well, and that was because I might consider myself too many experienced founder, but I wasn't as experienced as I thought. When I started my agency, I was still inexperienced. And one lesson I learned over the year of running the agency is the importance of hiring backwards. Meaning hire top talent first and then let them hire the rest of the talent. Instead of hiring the small talent first, training them and then hiring better and better as the company grows. Don't make that mistake. If you're one of the lucky ones that is starting an agency now, learn from me, learn from the best, and hire from the top. Spend money to get in good talent. A good talent will help you save time, will help you the drama of management, and the best part, because he or she is a good talent, they will continue to build their team themselves and hire people under them. When you hire in the opposite direction, that is from the bottom, you have to build a team for them. You have to get more talent. Egos are hurt because let's say you're paying someone 40,000 a month and they are 5 out of 10 in the skill set. You hire someone 10 out of 10 in skill set afterwards and you'll pay them 1 lakh a month. Now the person who's stuck with you longer than them will expect a salary higher than them, even though that person has more skill than this person. You see the ego clash that happens, but it's also hard for a founder because loyalty is more important than skills. And now it becomes very tricky. Do you reward loyalty with money? Do you reward skill set with money? Do you reward experience with money? It's a lot of drama that comes along with it. So hire from the top and build backwards. And I learned this from some of the best entrepreneurs in the world. Like OpenClaw that was recently launched, the founder of that joined OpenAI. Sam Altman hired the best MCP developer in the world, and now he's going to let him build a team within OpenAI. Hiring backwards, that's what they do. And this is one of the biggest leverage you can have as an agency founder eventually after you crack lead gen, is because once you crack lead gen, now you can scale your company as fast as you want, because so many brands want to work with you. So many brands trust you. You have so many case studies with so many good results that you're genuinely at a position of providing value, and people want that value. When you have a strong team, when you have a very lean, strong team that you've hired backwards, now you have that leverage to scale a company at any given time. And that's a wonderful position to be in. When you are a good founder, you crack lead gen through distribution, content, or whatever method you choose, and you've also built a very strong team. You combine all these 3 things together and you're one of the best agency founders in the world. Now, I know this is easier said than done. It'll take you many years, and everything I've spoken about, for example, lead gen, being a good founder, building good team, cash flow. Now all 3 of these things have separate videos on my YouTube channel, so you can go check it out. But when combined together is how you make your agency grow fast. Cheers.